In Sri Lanka, persons with disabilities, particularly women with disabilities, have faced the brunt of the ongoing socioeconomic crisis. At this time, the Enable Lanka Foundation has been working closely with this vulnerable group, advocating for processes and policies that ease their unique challenges.
In the last census, which dates back to 2012, it states that there are 1.6 million people with disabilities. Out of that, 57% is women with disabilities. Did the socio-economic crisis affect everyone? Yes. But for people with disabilities, it affected very drastically. Now, to talk about women with disabilities, even before the term or the label disabilities come in, the society is such that women are disadvantaged. They are much more compounded because of the socio-economic crisis. They don't have access to employment opportunities, education opportunities. So more often they become self-employed. People with disabilities, and including women with disabilities, they become self-employed. Is that out of liking? No, they are forced because they don't get access because of the social barriers, not because they are disabled. Being a woman, they are much more prone in society, as per society, to be a victim of abuse. And let's say they, for unfortunate circumstances, they get abused and they want to report it. A person who is deaf, they do communicate in sign language, but unfortunately we have a tendency in our home life to come up with our own signs, not the Sri Lankan sign language that is legalized in the legal context. So when they would want to go and say it through their own colloquial sign language, the sign language interpreter who is there to assist is not able to translate because it's not the Sri Lankan sign language. So that's one of the major barriers that we do possess for women with disabilities.
Given the many unique challenges faced by women with disabilities, it is up to each of us to take deliberate actions to ease their burdens. At an individual, corporate, or policy-making level, how can women with disabilities be better accommodated?
More often than not, people with disabilities do not get access to information. From the basics, make it trilingual and convert it into an audio for people who cannot see, and use sign language wherever you use videos, or if you cannot use sign language interpretation, use captions. That's an easier way. When they want to pursue an education, secondary, tertiary, or vocational, open the opportunity. Get to know their needs as you would for any student. Get to know their needs and think how you could best support them. And that same ideology, same attitude applies to employment. Does your employee policies support people with disabilities? They are reasonable accommodation in a nutshell. Treat them the way you would want them to treat you, and always ask first, and then it's a journey of learning. The future for women with disabilities is hopeful because we as a community are resilient, because we live in a world that is not made for us. So we would find our way through, but the policies, the people, if they are there, that would make our lives a bit easier.